This
taught
conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. So last day I taught you how to create a namespace, how to CRUD a namespace. And today I'm going to teach you first thing, which is how to CRUD pod. Then after that, I'm going to teach you how to CRUD replication controller. Then I'm going to teach you how to CRUD deployment. Then I'm going to teach you how to CRUD services and so on. Okay. So that is the things which I'm going to teach you. So let's get started. So last time I did with a command line. So can I do with the YAML file this time? So I need a YAML file. From where do we get it? So I'll just type Kubernetes pod exam. Enter. And here you see some pods are there. I have example program. A lot of pods examples are there, but for time being one is sufficient. So here this is a YAML file. By the way, I just told you how to use YAML file already. So the command, you know that. So Kubernetes is asking me, Kubernetes means API server. Okay, so guys, in our discussion, we always use Kubernetes, but it's all about API server. If you remember the architecture, everything goes to API server, whether internal or external. So when we say Kubernetes, basically we want to send to API server. All of you are understanding, right? This statement.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm asking, hey API server, I need a pod. So API server is saying, hey, okay, you want the pod means kind is equal to you want pod. Okay, fine. So then API server is saying, hey, the pod function, I may have a multiple version 1, version 2, version 3. So which version particular the pod you want? So I say v1. API server, I informed I want this pod of v1 API version, and I'm saying, hey, the name of the pod should be this one, and is with the label should be this one. So now pod contains containers also. So pod specifications, containers, and here containers comes with it from the image, which this is the one, and some of the pod specifications. That's all. So did you find any difficulties understanding this small YAML file? Any confusion?
No, Rajesh.
No.
Yeah, one thing actually, you have to practice a little bit YAML specification. Not only this will help you in Kubernetes, but any tools nowadays, if you're going for it, they use the YAML. So where to give 1 space, 2 space, 4 space, and colon space, all these things, specifications, you have to understand. This is not something Kubernetes, it's a YAML. So yeah, this is the stuff. Now we'll say, Rajesh, okay, so you copy paste, these are the fields. It's easy to understand, but how do I know all the fields available for pod? Okay, so let me tell you guys, each API resources you find many fields, but pod is the one resources you will find too many fields, but I just wrote only this many. So in fact, if you start getting into the each and every option, 2 to 3 days will be less for that. Only for the pod I'm saying. Okay. So just for knowledge purpose, how do I know? So official documents, anyways, it's available on the internet, so you can check this out. You have to search like this, API resources. Okay, and pod like this. You have to search, and here you have it. Not this one. This is concept actually. Just okay, my search is bad. API resources, but which one? Kubernetes API resources. This is the doc. Okay, so here you will find all the API resources one by one and versions and all stuff like that. So let me see that where is a pod. They have, little bit complicated the this one. I mean, earlier it was easy, but now also it's easy. But if for the fresh, I mean, the people who are starting it, it's like a bit difficult to understand what is workload resources, what is all this stuff. So yeah, so workload actually pod is coming under the workload. These all are a workload and pod is here. Okay, and you see this each fields you have a little explanations and all stuff like that. So a lot of things. So you see that's a huge page actually. Okay, so how do I know that through command line? So there is a one command which has been given by Kubernetes, and that is called explain. kubectl explain. Okay, so this is the command. Now I want to explain, but what? Pod. So pod at a high level, they have these fields: API version, kind, metadata, and spec, and status. So here we have a spec. Go to the spec, and a lot of again use find, but mine was containers, right? Here containers. C, somewhere. Okay, spec dot containers. Correct. I'm not able to quickly locate that. Okay.
It's above actually, if you go above.
No problem.
Just
I'll
click.
just copy it. I'm not going to find it. So spec containers. See, these are the fields with the containers you have. So here you have an image name, all these things. See here, you can see image. So like that, you can understand. You can read all about it. But don't stress yourself. These all are not required for creating a pod. Okay, when you get into the specializations, maybe in a production, then you need a observability concept in the pod, customizations, lots of behavioral change. Then you have to become a pro. Right now is like a very early stage of it. So yeah, that's I'm giving you pointer if you have a curiosity to find, let's say something like this. Someone will say, hey, we need to do the pod with this. So instead of getting puzzled, you can look for this command or these documents and see which field will do that, because there are hundreds of fields. You don't need to remember it. Okay, so now that is approach. By the way, this approach for every API resources. Mind it. This pattern will be for every API resources. So what I'm going to do? So guys, I'm going to work in directory called mkdir Rajesh. I'm not going to fight with you. So this is my location root. Everyone, the workstation is set up using root. Okay. So this file, I'm going to copy pod1.yaml and save it. Now kubectl create -f pod1.yaml. Sorry, there's a issues with my voice today. What is this? It's taking a little different. Something is a problem, actually, not sure, but so here. Okay, so create -f. So this got created, simple. Can I see that? See,
Yeah.
now the pod is created, but actually, you know what? I think I'm going to have a fight with you, and you are going to have fight with me also. Why? So you know, guys, this pod is getting created in which namespace?
Default.
Which
Default.
default? So I don't want to, you know, all of you to create a in the default. Pod is created. I'll show you a little bit later also. But I want to have a process here. Each one of us will not fight with each other, will not create a pod in a default, but will create a pod in their own namespace. So I am following these practices. I will go ahead, create ns Rajesh, and here create pod.yaml -n equal to Rajesh. So if I don't give -n, sorry, if I don't give -n, then it will create in default, but I want to create in Rajesh, and I created Rajesh. So get pods, it will show you the default, and here Rajesh. Okay, so here you see the name can be duplicated if you are in a two namespace. But let's say if I deploy one more time in the Rajesh, see here, sh in this Rajesh namespace, this pod is already exist. So you have to change the name of create name for the pod for creating a pod. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yes.
Yeah, Rajesh.
Yeah. So this is something which you have to do that. So guys, what I will do, I don't want to follow the wrong practice. So kubectl get pods, and I will delete this pod and CRUD operation. I told you I don't have to repeat again and again. And here done. So pod got deleted from, and here there is no pod, but Rajesh namespace have my pod. So now onwards, what we will do, we'll have an agreement. Any resources today you will create in the what is it, your own namespace. So can we stick to that, all of us?
Yes.
Okay, so now I'll show you the CRUD operation. So guys, I created a pod, I get the pod. Let me edit the pod. So which pod I'm going to edit? So edit pods, name of the pods, and this namespace Rajesh. What we are editing. So I just said right now till we get expert, stick to the labels editing only. So this is for team, this is dev team or something. I added labels, save it, get pods -show labels spelling mistake. You have it. You can describe this pod also. Describe the pod and name of the pod. So you can describe the pod and you see the complete information about this. Are you understanding, all of you guys?
Yeah, Rajesh.
Okay, so how do we delete the pod? You saw that delete operation using command and using this one also. Now let me see if you want to change that YAML file and how can we apply. So yeah, here pod.yaml. Right now I just said stick to this only change to get expertise. Don't use tab by mistake in YAML. So app server Raju server, QA server, whatever it is. Team which I added will be replaced with this two one. Remember, manually the one which I added here. So what to do? kubectl apply -f pod1.yaml. Not sure why it's taking this. Okay, so kubectl apply -f pod1.yaml. My God, it's really upsetting. Tab kubectl apply -f pod1.yaml. I have to type it manually. So what has happened? Can you tell me this command what it exactly did?
Read the
Actually, this command created the pod in the default. But if I use Rajesh, see here, this is the warning message. You can ignore it. So I'm going to delete this pod from the default, and done. Can I show the labels to you? Here, see that server QA team dev. So these are the things. Anyone
Rajesh, whatever, yeah, Rajesh, a small question. Whatever the labels we are adding, are those the keywords or it's a general name?
Labels are labels. For example, my name is Rajesh, but you can call me Raj also. You can call me trainer also. You can call me DevOps engineer also. Depends. So the pod name is this one, and we label it multiple because contexts are different. Labels
Okay.
primarily used for the searching, but also used for the services which I will discuss later.
And apart from the labels, there are some other sections which we have in the pods. In those also we can add anything.
Yes, see, there are few fields which cannot be changed. There are few fields which can be changed. So that's the reason I said right now I didn't want you to tell you what should be changed, what should not be changed. So I just ask you to play with the labels. But for example, you cannot change the name itself. Okay, you cannot change the name. It's a permanent stuff. You have to delete and then you can change it. But image you can, image means container you can change it.
Okay.
Okay, so guys, all of you are comfortable with the CRUD operation with the pod? All of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rajesh.
Okay, so now after the CRUD, because it was easy, let me cover a few more topics. We created a pod, but the question is, how can I access it? How can I access a pod? So I hope you remember my Docker session. Something similar we have here also. So first thing, how can I access? So get a pod IP address. So -o white output white. See here. This is the pod IP address. Can I curl from inside? Curl means it's like accessing the web-based applications. See here. Welcome to DevOps School version 1. So I can access this pod from inside. Remember that you are inside a cluster. I repeat, you are inside a cluster because my workstation is configured in the master server only. Correct now? Correct now?
Yeah, Rajesh.
Yeah. So please remember. Okay. So yeah, I can access this. Do you want to? This is accessing your pod, but actually it's showing you the output of container. So can you go inside a pod? So I cannot go inside a pod. Why? Anyone would like to tell me I cannot go inside a pod?
It's not a container, right?
Pod is a logical entities. Okay, so you cannot go inside a pod. Is a pod is a basically, you know what? One container or multiple container. They want to group it together for the resource allocation by Kubernetes. So that is pod. It's a logical identification for the containers in Kubernetes. Getting my points, all of you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you cannot go inside a pod. You can go inside a container that you can do that. So what to do? So I think Docker, if you have practiced honestly, then I think you will not stuck. Yeah, so you will not stuck for this command. So kubectl exec -it. This is the pod name I'm using it, but actually you will go to the first container. So exec -it, and I forgot after that for sure.
bin/bash.
Wonderful. So here, so if you have a pod which has a one container, then this code is good. Okay, this will work because there is only one container, no? So exec -it bin bash, enter. See, there's some problem. Anyone would like to fix that? Anyone? So remember that in the default, this command is running in the default. So there is no pod as such. Rajesh was having that pod, no? So where are you right now?
Inside the container.
Wonderful. And do whatever you want and exit. So I showed you how can you access the pod using HTTP also inside a cluster, and you can go inside also using this command. You can do it very well. So that is one thing. But I want to learn few more things. So how do I do that? So before that, I'll ask you one question. If there is a two container in the pod, then this command will not work. This command will only give you it will get you into the first container of the pod. So how to get inside the second container? So whenever you have any question, not like this, any questions, okay? So that time you just remember this command, this -h. Any questions, any combinations, you remember -h. Okay, so if I do -h means help, and here few examples you will see that, and here it is. Understood?
Yeah, Rajesh.
So what option I should give it when I have another containers?
You can see.
Name of the container.
Yeah,
-c.
yeah. So like that, I'm teaching you pattern because so many resources, thousands of fields are there. So remember all the best pattern, so you'll never stuck in that. Okay, so now what I did, I created the pod. I also verified the pod. I also got inside a pod, access the pod from outside also. Everything is good. But I want to know few more activities. So before I lose this session, let me get this whole command stored, which will be your lab. Okay. So these are the commands I run, and don't run any commands blindly. You'll have to use with the logic. Okay. So now next thing is what? So I'm curious to do some more work with the pod, because you know what? Pod is the most important API resources in Kubernetes. It's the most important one. So how do I get it? So I don't know. I will ask kubectl. Hey kubectl, please tell me all of your options. So many options you learn, like some of these options here, like create you learn, and then explain now, get edit delete some of the commands here, describe exec so these are the troubleshooting commands. Let's focus on. So here, this is the troubleshooting commands. Now describe so I'll just leave it. Exec also I just now showed you, and and this command is for administrator. Leave it. This command is also not needed. So yeah, so let's see the logs. So how to use the logs? So here it says print the log for a container in a pod. That means pod do not generate logs. Okay, pod do not generate logs. Only container has applications which can generate a log. So here kubectl get pods -n Rajesh
Get
pods Rajesh, and I want to see the log of the container. So how do I do that? So kubectl logs and -n Rajesh. See here, I did the curl 2 times. That's the reason you have a okay 3 times, 4 times. See 4 times. So that is how you do that logs, see the logs of the container. Now let me ask you one question. Let's say, what about if you have uh, uh, 2 container, then what would be your approach? If you
-c container name.
yeah, so you'll use -h, find out the option, and -c you will add it. So that is how you can get into that. Now attach will attach to the PID one of the container. In a Docker also I shared something similar. So what to do? So PID one is HTTPD, I know, for this container. So kubectl attach pod name -n Rajesh. And right now, don't think you got stuck. You are on the PID one of the container, which is basically container console. So I will not be able to come out without seeing that. So duplicate the session, ubuntu sudo -s here, and kubectl get pods -n Rajesh, and here -o wide and curl. See the bottom section now, and see, so you have attached to the console of container. So it's like that. So attach command will attach to this exec command. You know that port forward command. This is something which you have, which we have.
Rajesh, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
actually. So we see the logs, right? We see the logs, we see the same style of this thing in the attach as well. So what is
Yeah.
the difference actually? So logs and this attach.
So see, logs will give you the past detail. Attach will give you the live detail. That's the difference.
Okay, okay, yeah. So we can basically open a window and check what is the current status of the logs in the
Yeah.
container.
This
Okay.
now you will ask me, Rajesh, where can we use it? So this is not a ops command. This is a developer command actually.
Yes,
So what
yes.
they will do, they will pass some parameters. They will pass some parameters and to the container, and they will see the output from the backend and say this as
Something,
per the
yeah,
troubleshooting and
something
all.
like, yeah, something like troubleshooting, and we can say tail F and F we use for logs, something like that, right?
Yeah.
For the containers. Okay.
Rajesh,
Yeah.
could you tell me how can you come out of the container which is in attached state without destroying it? Because if you
You cannot. You cannot. See what happens when you attach to the console. Okay. So that means you are on that, you become, you see, understand this fundamental. You as a human work on the shell. Okay, understand this. And shell have a multiple command to, you know, to work around. For example, you can use control C, control D, ampersand. You can use any also to run in the background. There is a FG, BG jobs are commands are also there. All these thing workarounds are there. But when you become that guy, the container one, and the container can be Perl, Python, Bash, Apache, Tomcat, it can be anything. So you need to know their behavior. You think, okay, I'm a still shell. People, this is what people think. I'm a shell command should work, but it's not working. But you should get into the interpreted world actually. I mean, interpret that executable world and see what command they accept. And if they have a command to come out of it, you can find out and run that. If not, then there is an operating system command which is called control C or control D, something like that, so which you can run and kill the session itself. So yes, that is how you have to proceed. Getting my points?
Then there is no way to come out of the container without destroying. When you get into it, then
Basically, you don't destroy actually. You send the kill signal from the operating system to that command to come out of it. So basically, the moment you kill signal, you send it to the container. See the concept. I'm not writing this one, but please hear me out. Very simple way. Concept is very simple. Uh, Concept is very simple. I must write it also. So here there is a virtual physical server, okay, and there is a virtual server, and there is a container. So you know what? My physical server means laptop, the one which you are seeing, is running as long as PID1 is running. You know, virtual server also is running because of PID1 is running, and container is also running in the PID1. This PID1 is get killed. That means your system gets shut down. So that is what you have to think about it. So PID1 means first process, which is very important to run any operating system or runtime. So in the container also you see the PID1. Let me show you here. I don't know PS command is there or not in that container. Docker, just uh, guys, I run the Docker command, but it's showing no container. Not sure why.
This is master, right?
I'm the master. Master also have few containers. No? API server. Anyone?
Like it need to show the Kubernetes, right? Those containers.
No, no. Docker should show me the container. Correct, no? See, let me see that.
It should be present in the pod itself. That
So it should show Docker. I mean, see, if there is a container, Docker should show. Simple one. That is what I'm saying. So kubectl gets pod hyphen namespace. See, there's so many containers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 containers at least, out of which these all are running except this. These all are running, or in fact, all are running in the queue system. I mean, master only. So, what could be the reason?
it will be
Anyone?
present in worker node, I think.
Worker node is not there. No, see here, it got spoiled yesterday. I have not corrected actually. So here you see. So I made the master as a worker itself. Okay, so I'll tell you, remind you, all of you. So I installed the latest version of Kubernetes, 1.23 or something, one of the latest. And in the latest, Docker is not there. I repeat, Docker is not used for containers. So what is been used actually then?
Container.
Wonderful. So remember that there's a difference. That's the reason Docker was not showing command, because those container which got created, not created by Docker, but container T actually. So that's the reason you have to learn container T from, I mean, not now actually, but later on the time. Okay, so come back to my point. What was the point? Yes. So here, PowerShell, virtual machine, and container. So I was trying to show you the PID one. So let me try if commands will be there. If there, I'll show you. So here, let's say this is my pod. So kubectl exec and ps-ef. So ps is not there. I was guessing actually because lightweight. Let me try some other pod. Wait. This command is wrong also. Hyphen Rajesh. PS. Yeah, PS is not there. No problem. Let me check some other executable. You may get lucky. Can you use this one, controller manager, and hyphen n hyphen cube system. Yes, a spelling mistake. No. So we need some container which can host the pod, Ubuntu or something. So can I have few other containers? Let me see Ubuntu. Here it is. So this is a one pod. We are using Ubuntu and running with this command, and it will see this. So running the containers. So let me use this one. Okay, just to show you the PID one concept. So Rajesh vi pod 2 dot YAML, enter. Its name is Ubuntu. So kubectl apply hyphen f pod 2 dot YAML hyphen n Rajesh, enter. Now get pods hyphen n Rajesh. Here is creating, running. Now kubectl exec pod hyphen n Rajesh. Yes, hyphen n. See here. So this container, each container is running because of PID. Here also in the system also I showed you. Yes, hyphen. See, this is my VM virtual machine PID. So it's so important. So what actually you do, you go to the PID one using attach command. The PID one can be anything like Perl, Python, Bash, Apache, Tomcat, Java, anything, and you become that guy, and you kill that using some commands like a control C, control D or something. You kill that. So if PID one is get killed, that's a root process which was running your virtual machine or container. So system will shut down, the container will get exit. Correct, no?
Yeah.
So that's the concept. Okay, so now any other questions anyone have?
One question.
Yeah.
If we create Docker images using a Docker file, you told that Kubernetes is not compatible with the Docker as of now. So will it able to pull the Docker images, or else any specific container D related images are being developed?
Yeah, very good question. Actually. Very good question. I like this question very much. So here what is happening? Docker is for image and container. So you must be thinking actually why the Docker is deprecated. Why, first of all, why? That's the reason. So there is a container specifications, we call it. Okay, OCI, we call it OCI or something, open container specifications. So those who follows, this is released by Kubernetes community, CNCF. Okay, OCI, you can search in Google also later on the time. Okay, this is a different one, Kubernetes. Okay, here. So here, as part of that rule, they say, hey, you can develop anything like container runtime, image spec, networking software, all this thing you have to follow that. So what is happening, Docker for running container, they are not following it, not follow for some reason, but for image they are following it. Getting points? So image of Docker will work because this is specification followed by Kubernetes. Container will not work. So now if you want to know more about it, I have consolidated, these are some of the learnings. Kubernetes Docker, and here, see here, so Docker support is removed from Kubernetes 1.23. And what is the future of Docker and Kubernetes? Okay, and few alternatives of Docker. So that is something which you have to replace. So image will work, container will not work. Are you understanding? See, Docker produced image will continue to work in your cluster with all runtimes because of specification for the image is followed for some reason. So understood this question?
Yeah, Rajesh, but I am having another question. Like, can you show me the YAML file, right? Once.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rajesh, like in this section you have mentioned like metadata and this specifications, right? Below this option, these are the two sections, right? Like, can we know what is the difference between like what are the instructions we need to give on these sections in the metadata and specifications also regarding the
Yeah.
port and all these things? Could you describe it because I'm unable to understand this.
So my straightforward answer is don't try to understand more than these options for time being. Okay, for time being, don't try to understand more than this one. Okay, now question is why I'm asking you to. So do you know AWS?
No, Rajesh, like actually I'm not having an idea.
Okay, do you know laptop at least? Correct?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So my primary goal is to run the laptop and work on it. Okay, understand that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Primary goal is to run the laptop and work on it. But my primary goal is not uh, attaching the storage to laptop, configuring the storage, attaching the network, attaching the port, configuring the server for some different runtime. Right now, not that's my primary goal. Okay,
Okay,
so I
okay,
just said each pod specifications will have a hundreds and hundreds of fields you have. There's no problem
okay,
in it. So again, if you get into that, then remember that I have many other resources. You will not get time for it. Getting over?
Yeah.
Okay, so once you get comfortable with the pod concept, slightly understanding the runtime environment, then you can go for it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Okay, Raj. Yeah. Thanks.
so that is the stuff. Now, a few questions I'm having more actually. And so that was my question actually. So what is a port forwarding? Okay, so now let's understand this through image and then we'll get into it. So here, this is my cluster. Okay, this is my cluster, and cluster is powered by a number of worker. I don't care. Now maybe let's one worker and two worker. Okay, and then pod is running somewhere here. I know that pod has IP address. Let's say I'm inside a cluster. When I say inside, that means I'm here or here. So I'm saying here. I hope you are getting me, because in the cluster you may have a 20 servers also. You can be a part of any machines. So I can access this port number. I can access the pod here also running because I'm inside, and that is why I was able to do curl actually. This is the IP address is not of node IP address but pod IP address. So I was able to do the curl because I was inside one of the machine in the cluster. Are you understanding so far? Are you understanding so far?
Yeah, Raj.
Yes.
But you know what, guys? I am outside now, and how can I access then this? Can I access node? Yes, I am able to access node. That's the reason putty I did now. So here I can access node. Yes. Can I access pod? Let me try. Node IP address, which is this one. I'm able to access pod IP address, which is this one. Let me try from my browser. No, not able to access. So in a Docker, we solve that problem for the one node, but in a Kubernetes, we have to solve the problem with the multiple node. So how do we do that? Did you understand the problem, all of you?
Yes.
Okay, good. So yes, you can understand the problem. So where is solution then? And the solution is port forwarding. In a Docker, we use the -p, right? But we'll have to use port forwarding here. Got it? All of you? Hello?
Yes.
Yes,
So
yes.
I don't know options. I don't know the command. So you know that my tactics. I will ask, hey, tell me the commands. I don't know. So I got to know so many examples, so many information. Have a peace of mind, read it. But right now, I will just copy paste one of the examples and try to access. So what is this here? Here is saying from any address, head to the pod, this pod. On this is the host port. This is the container port. My container is running on 80 port of this particular pod. So what is a pod? So kubectl get pods -n Rajesh. So this is the pod I was working. It's running on 80 port. So this is the one. Are you able to understand, all of you?
Yeah, Rajesh.
Yeah. So this is the node port where the node IP address will be used for this. This is the container port. This is called port forwarding, creating a proxies, tunneling basically for the traffic. What is the problem? The problem is,
Namespace.
yeah, this here. See, right now it's created a network tunnel from outside. Any node, if I hit this port number, then it will redirect it to the particular pod 80 port. Can I try? So go any machines actually, and what is the 8888, right? Yeah, got it. Tunneling has happened from outside. The whole world is working with the proxy concept only. So I did at the small level. Understood, guys? All of you?
This port forwarding is
Yeah. So this is the port forwarding concept which we have. Till
So
this,
Rajesh, here you meant to say that from the outside world we have access the container. I mean the pod, right?
you can using port forwarding.
Yeah, using the port forwarding we have access the pod here, right?
Right.
That means nothing but the container which is running inside the pod, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So similarly, can we enter into the pod from the outside?
Pod is a logical entity, this is a
Yeah,
container.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so there's one more command which I'm having, which is cp command. So here, if you have a cp command, so you can copy the files and directories from your host machine to containers of the pod. Now this, I would like you to figure it out using -h. If you cannot figure it out, anyone, then anyways I'll help you. So this is one. This command to check the access, what access you have it. It's not so special command, right? qctl auth pod create. The moment I'm asking, hey, do I have authentication for creating a pod? And spelling mistake actually. Can I pod create? Yes, always yes, you'll get it because right now I'm having admin access. So always yes, you'll get it. Got it? Okay, so this is the command which we have to try now. And get going. So now I'll give you, let's say, 1 hour of lab, and in this machines, access you have already, only IP address got changed. So play with the pod, each one of you, and practice it. So file I'm storing is q2, okay, .txt, and IP address you can get it from here only. This is the IP address. Keys will be same as last day, which is here, and I'll give you 50 minutes for it to practice it. Go ahead, it's your time now.
This
How many?
conference will now be recorded.
So how many pod you created?
Only one pod of same kind.
Okay. But in reality, do you create a one pod? In reality, do you create one pod?
No, we will create more.
More. So using kind is equal to pod, you cannot create more. All you have to keep changing the name and apply, or create, whatever it is. So that's a huge task actually. We don't want to. So how to deal with it? So here we have our application controller, one API resources which we have, which we use it. So here we have our application and then we have a controller. The application means you can get many pods. You can get many pods. That is a replication feature. You can get many pods. And second one is controller. Controller. Replication, you can get many pods. Controller is make sure, please understand that, make sure desire is actual to actual. How? Let me show you. So I want to get a many pods first. So for that, what I'll do? So I'll go to my blog and I'll search for application controller and examples. Okay, so these are application controller. By the way, you can get it the example from official website also, but I keep it my version of it. So here is the application. I'm putting in the here. So what do you want? Replication controller. Which version of it? V1. Okay, let me delete this guy. Comments and all. Because just spoil the copy paste. Okay, so what you want? Replication controller. Okay, fine. Which version of it? V1. How many replicas you want of this pod? So three pod you want. So here specification for application controller, you are saying, hey, give me 3 replicas of the each pod. But where is a pod template? Which pod you want? So pod template is here. So that means each pod will be labeled with this one, and each pod will have a specification of a container. This one. Simple. That means through this API, you will get 3 pod. Are you understanding, all of you? All of
Yeah, Rajesh.
Okay, so now let's go into Rajesh and here virc.yaml and here paste it and CRUD, you know that, so I'm not going to teach you again and again. Everyone must remember CRUD formula is same. So create first get rc -n Rajesh, no rc. So create -f rc dot. I don't know why this is coming with a tab. I'm not able to understand. So this is the one, and create kubectl create -f rc dot video. So create ls kubectl create -f pod 2 dot rc dot just get rc create -f rc dot, not sure why, just a second, give me ls kubectl create -f. Now I'll copy paste it manually. Okay, and here -n Rajesh. Enter. Now did you get rc? So get rc -n Rajesh. See here rc 3 pod you have it. How many desire? I desired 3. How many current we have? 3. How many ready we have? 3. And can we get a pod? Get pods. See, this some of you are creating a pod in the default, not a good practice. Please don't do the blind work. See that these all 3 pods is got it. Understood, all of you?
Yeah, got it.
Okay, now what I want guys, request. Actually, when you desire 100 also, you will get 100. But the problem is we have a 2 worker right now. Okay, and we have 10 people. So don't go more than 4-5 replicas. Okay, don't create blindly. What will happen if you create blindly? then again the master will crash, and again I have to correct that, all this stuff like that. So right now there's a few practices, that means limitation I have not set in the cluster, so don't create more than 5 each one of you. Okay, so now just for the demo, kubectl crud, remember edit rc, first get rc -n Rajesh, and edit rc, editing rc, and this rc name, and what is namespace, so Rajesh. Now this rc I'm editing it through the edit command. You can apply also, no problem. And here replicas I'll make it 5. Okay, 5, and then save it, and you see the magic. How many you got it? 5. Did you understand that magic now, all of you? Yeah, so what is the desire? Desire was 5, you get a 5. That's what I'm telling you. Whatever you desire from the Kubernetes, you get it. In reality, current 5. Can I desire 1? So this time what I will do, I'll modify this file rc.yaml, and here desired 3 it was there. I'll make it 1, and see the magic. kubectl apply -f rc.yaml -n Rajesh, enter. And see, desire 1, and reality, see, 1 only, middle one. Are you understanding, all of you, that feature of replication controller? So here when you say desire 1000, immediately you will have 1000 if you have a cluster like that, to create a 1000 pod. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yeah,
Now finally I will delete this CRUD operation. Delete is last. Delete, what is that, rc, which rc, this rc, the name is, and -n Rajesh. kubectl get rc -n Rajesh. That's all. Gone. So now I'll again create, go to the rc.yaml, make it 3, save it, and kubectl apply -f rc.yaml, so kubectl apply -f rc.yaml, and -n Rajesh. So kubectl get pods -n Rajesh. So here 3 you want it. Now what I want to show you the magic, and the magic is this one. So here I said only I showed you replication, correct, all of you? Controller I did not show you, correct? So make sure the desire and actual. So what is the desire? 3. What is actual? 3. Now accidentally I will delete some of the pod. So kubectl delete pod, manually I'm deleting, okay, and 2 pod I'm deleting. Oh sorry, -n specific. Clear this. See here, did you notice something? Look at the age. Did you notice something, all of you? All of you?
yeah, like in the namespace itself, so they formed 3
Yes,
replicas,
yes.
right?
No,
Design state is
observation.
again the pods are created automatically.
That is the job of RC. I told you this controller feature as part of RC will always make sure that whatever the desire which will be actual. That means you said I need thousands of containers. Not so 1000 means whose responsibility? Kubernetes responsibility. So Kubernetes will make it always 1000, not 999 and not 101. You don't have to get up in the night and correct that. Auto healing functionality which Kubernetes has. So now you are able to code here, all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is something which we have. So guys, this is the RC. So now I'll give you 15 to 20 minutes to try it out also. So for that, what you can do is you can, these are the command I run in order to show you. This is the YAML file and save it. The cube2 and edit. Okay, go ahead guys. So I'll give
This conference will now be recorded.
all of you.
Yes.
Yeah. So the next API resources which I'm going to talk about is deployment. So deployment 50% I will show you, and 50% I will share the commands, and you need to find out and tell me tomorrow. So what 50% I'll talk about it. So let me talk about the deployment. So deployment has a multiple features. What are the features we have? So in a deployments we have a features like replication, which just now I showed you. It has a controller also. Then you'll say, Rajesh, why we have a replication controller when the deployment itself has that feature? Correct now? But you know, guys, deployment has a multiple other features also, like a versioning, and then roll out, then roll back. Okay, roll back. So these three things I'm giving you tasks to explore that, and these options which I'm talking about. So now replication controller, this is you know what, they're powered by replica sorry, replica sets. Now replica sets, what is a replica set? So all of you understood the replication controller, right? All of you?
Yeah, Rajesh.
So replica set is basically the next version of replication controller and plus bug fixing is equal to replica sets. So what has happened, there was some bugs in this component. So instead of releasing v2 and all, what they did, they changed fix the bug and then named with the replica sets. That means you have a replication controller also, replica sets also, and both are working. Then you will say, Rajesh, what is the use of both the things? Because replica set is bugs fixed, right? So this should not be there. Yes, this got deprecated. So in sooner next version of Kubernetes, they probably remove it. Is there that notification has been sent out? So is there from last 2 years? I've not seen that removal. Maybe in the next few release, they should be removed. Understood all of you now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm going to do the CRUD of deployment. So how do I do that? So this time I'll show you through the commands. So let's say kubectl create and -h. I don't know anything. So I don't know anything here. So what you want? So here you are on deployment, correct? All of you? Yeah. So here deployment and -h. Okay. So here I can create a deployments like this. I can create deployment like this. So let's get created. So create a deployment. What image? So guys, I'm using my image. Why? There is a reason for it to validate the output. So I'm moving the Nginx to my image. How many replicas you want? 3. And how many? Which namespace? Rajesh. So this is the way you can get it. the deployment through command line. So let me first delete the replication controller. So kubectl get rc. See, someone created rc in the default namespace. Not good actually. Okay, so I just cleaned it up, and rc-n Rajesh. So this is the one I'm going to delete this. Delete rc and Rajesh. Done. Yeah. So that is a stuff. Just again, guys, give me 2 seconds. Yeah. So yeah. So I deleted that one. Now let me create this. So kubectl and get a deploy -n Rajesh. So there's no deployment. I'm creating one deployment with the 3. See, I created. You have it. You have it now. And so kubectl get deploy -n Rajesh. See here, get pods -n Rajesh. So this is the one. Understood, all of you so far? So I
Yeah, Raj.
get this, I created. Now what to do? I'll show you the controller, the replication feature. So replication feature, how can you do that? So edit, deploy mydev. Here, and now here replicas 5. Save it. Here you see, this is the one. This is the one. See, now what to do? This is called replication feature. Edit the deployment. Now I'll show you the one relationship. Okay, so get pods. See, this is the created by deployments, right? So kubectl describe pod and this one -n Rajesh, and you see that here this pod is controlled by, look at this, what is controlled by? Replica set. And replica set, this is the name of the replica set. Okay, so now I'll show you the get rs, not rc, rs means replica set. See that? And now you can describe this deployment, I mean replica set also. So rs and this one, see here, and replica set controlled by deployment. Understood this relationship now, all of you? Hello?
Hello, Rajesh. Yeah, Rajesh.
Yeah. So now guys, this is the very important API resources for getting all this feature. So I just showed you this one. but versioning, rollout, and rollback. I want now. This is the right time to explore that options also. So here I'll go for Kubernetes deployment, and here. So strategy, this you have to read it. Strategy, one read is there, good read for the strategy. There's a two strategy actually, recreate and rolling update for the deployment only. And here, this is the example program. So here you can take this YAML, but I give you this time command actually. You can continue the command only. And this is the example program for YAML. And I want to show you one more thing, and that is just a second. So here, go to the bottom section of it. Okay, same URL. Go to the bottom section, and whatever the command I run, this command I run for the deployment and replications. Now this command I run for controller, and this command I run for versioning and rollout, and this command I run for rollout and rollback. Okay, so this is the two commands, which is a rollout and rollback, which is important for all of you. So you have to do with the care, and I will ask you a few questions from this. So now this is the most important API resources. This is the most important API resources which you have, and you have to do this. Understood, all of you?
Yes.
Any questions?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead guys, I'm updating the notes.